Anniversary.
Happy anniversary
to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary, dear Father Robb. Happy anniversary.
I don't have a lot of words to say. John's been begging me here to say a lot. But anyway, thank you so much.
That's not your writing.
Yes, that's my writing.
That's your writing?
Yes, that's my writing. That's my writing.
Well, it looks a lot like my brother's.
No.
I know my brother's up to something about
Anyway,
something.
we're so glad that you left the monastery and have come to our
Oh
direction.
my God, are
And
we happy about
you are our pastor. Thank you
wow.
so much.
Well, thank you.
That's from your Blessed Sacrament family.
Wow.
And you know, you've done what no other priest can do in the entire United States. You brought more people into your little mission up here than other churches. You're
quadrupled
going
it.
If you get out the 300% growth
Yeah.
rate.
The growth rate here is fantastic.
I thought it was our lunches that brought
I
everybody
just
together.
don't want the Pope to know about this, you know? You could be put in New York or somewhere.
Oh, wow. Woo. Wow, wow. I get my own plaque. All
I want to know is, did we spell your last name correctly?
He was losing sleep over that. According to Mary Alice, anyway.
Yeah, that's correct.
I wouldn't know.
No,
Walt has Polish background. So.
I think, Father, what we'd like to do too is put that in our church.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
we want to put it on the wall, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Oh,
But you can use it anytime you need it.
Can he borrow it?
To remember.
well, you can borrow it. Show it to people if you want.
What do you think of the picture in the middle?
That's good. I mean, that's the one, the official one. I mean,
Yeah, that's the official one.
it's the one. Yeah, Jim Culp took that from. I mean, Jim Culp, he's a parishioner at St. Anthony's.
Yeah,
He's
I
been
remember
the,
that picture.
Yeah, he's on the. He's
It
done
did come out
journalism and
beautiful.
stuff in his life. So. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. It's been a wonderful experience for me as well to accompany you in your faith life and to be here and to share and yeah, I've always felt myself. I mean, it's about you give but you receive. So it's also what you receive from the community that's able to energize you and able to be giving back as well. So it's not just. It's a kind of there's two-way traffic and not just one-way traffic, hopefully. So I mean, it's good that kind of there's that relationship of receiving and giving and receiving. So, and I think throughout my life I've had beautiful examples of people who love the faith and loved I think it was last week, didn't I mention about the priests that I grew up with in the parish there at St. Anne's Parish in Broken Arrow, who were concentration camp victims themselves, and there they were coming from Poland and choosing to go where the country of their liberators, and the first soldiers they met were from Oklahoma. So they came to Oklahoma and started a parish in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, which is a suburb of Tulsa, and now a very prominent suburb, but at that time was kind of an outlying community, farm community, and happened to be just the parish that was our parish. So even though my father is Polish, he ended up in a Polish parish in Oklahoma, where not too many Poles there. But so anyway, but sure, as far as people, they talked with funny accents, and Father Robert gave sermons that went on, and just when he thought he was going to finish, he would come out of nowhere and it would start rising. It would kind of like, you going on there would be like a descent, and you'd really feel like he was winding down, and then out of nowhere he just started coming back, and it was like, where is this going now? And it would go on. He could make a 5-minute sermon into a half hour at least, and sometimes so. Anyway, but it was that witness of that faith of, I think, of just those men there that had lived for God and lived. They preached by their life. So yeah, and then high school and college and encountering Professor Senior and the wonderful program that he had, and I saw these young people that were themselves. Because it really, I mean, in high school it was more like, well, it was. There was kind of a disconnect between living what someone here said, the Catholic life, living the life where Father Arsenius said we're Catholic, so we enjoy. We're not people that are we don't mistreat. we're not people who despise creation. We're not people who mistreat creation, or we are people that appreciate the good things of this world. Again, to give praise back to God. But it was really in college where I saw young people that were both devout Catholics, but also great friends and great people to go share a beer with as well, and to pray the rosary and then go have a beer or something. It was both parts of life that were being reconnected. And so that was beautiful in that experience. And then being in Europe, in Scotland and France, and discovering the monastic life and feeling that was my duty at that point in my life, and carried on, and then working my way back here, ending up in California. It's kind of interesting. I remember as a young lad, I went up with a trip on with my mother, and we visited some cousins that were here in California on my father's side, and I loved playing tennis. And some of the cousins lived by there's a development there, but where Vic Braden's tennis camp was. And I don't know if you ever heard of or remember Vic Braden, but he had his own television show on PBS where he taught people how to play tennis. And so it was kind of neat I love playing tennis, and here it ended up in the neighborhood of where Vic Braden, just the same up in Trabuco Canyon, up in eastern Orange County there. And but I just remember that time. I think it was the first time I really felt heartbroken was on the plane going back to Oklahoma. I just felt that it was, I really kind of loved California at that time. It was just something that I was surprised to be on the plane. I was like 12 years old or something, but I thought, wow, this is a doozy. This is really hitting me pretty hard. I was kind of surprised by that. I never really felt that before, but I felt, wow, I'm kind of like, this is really hitting me hard. I'm actually going home. So it's kind of interesting that I end up coming back to California, end up here, and it's been pretty fabulous. In the monastery, I used to, one of the things that my family would leave me like a magazine or a book or something. When I asked for an atlas of the United States, just to look at different, I like looking at maps and atlas, and I love looking at different places, like looking at, Monterey, or looking at the area around Carmel and Monterey, or this town called San Luis Obispo, which was kind of odd. Or I had one of the monks, there had been somebody who had visited, had postcards of the Camaldolese, in Lucia, and so these places were the places I was kind of looking at. And here, to end up in California, not only there, but I was actually the regular priest for Mission San Antonio, which is basically it's the other side of the mountains from Lucia. It was basically, my parish was more or less Big Sur, you might say. And so driving up and down that road, and being a priest of the Monterey Diocese at one point, and living outside of San Luis Obispo, and then now up here in Mendocino, it's all been pretty fabulous, life. And so I guess I really feel blessed that way, and privileged, to have these experiences, and so many wonderful people that I've met along the way. And I tease people sometimes. I say I have the most wonderful friends in the world, and I think it's true that the friends that I've had have been pretty amazing. So thank you.
So you remember the first time you and I and Paul met?
Right here, I think, yeah.
Yes, it was. You phoned me and said you were.
Oh, did I kick through the
Yeah,
door?
you kicked through the door.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
She told me to, she said, well, you got to push the door. You might have to kick it to get it open. So, the way it opened,
Bottom of the door.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
So we come down and say, oh, okay. Well, we know who can repair
Well,
that. I know.
Yeah.
I think I gave you a pretty nice check when I left. It wasn't pretty. You could probably repair the door.
So you were kicking in the door into paradise then, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, it was just, it was, I remember, of course, and Father Arsenius is here, but the church and the rectory and the coast here, and always people, when I share pictures that I took at that first visit, and they're always so amazed to see the beauty of the coast up here, at Milk.
It's the people too.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, I think it goes hand in hand. I
Yeah,
guess, and it's
it
kinda-
does.
It draws a certain type of people, and certain people like it, and they stay.
Anyway, thank
reading
you for
something.
being our pastor. We
Yes.
appreciate
Yes.
you.
We really appreciate you.
And to 25 more years.
Could be. I mean,
Yeah.
Father Lou was here for
Yeah.
14 years.
Yeah.
So, and Bishop Vasha doesn't really change people around for. I mean, you kind of have to. It's almost like when he's forced to change somebody, he actually changes them. So, if it's, as long as it's going well, he doesn't really change stuff. So,
Stay under the radar.
yeah. So,
Well, we have to be very careful to say good things about you to the bishop for fear that he will move you some bigger
well,
parish which will generate a tremendous amount of
it's
money.
not gonna. Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, he already knows. I mean, the thing is, like, I go down to Santa Rosa once a month anyway, so people, and I was at a restaurant, well, it's because I go to the Memorial Hospital there, St. Joseph's Memorial, and then I often will stop at Riviera restaurant across, and there's a lovely Italian family. I mean, it's Vincente is he's not the, Rita is basically the owner that runs it, and then Vincente is kind of like an adopted son. He's their best friend's son, and so, and it's just, I like restaurants where you know the people and can go in. But I was sitting, I went in and sat down and was at lunch, and then a table next to me, it was a birthday party, and there were two elderly ladies and one middle-aged lady, and the elderlies left, and the other lady, I kind of said hello to them and wished them, and she says, well, you know, you don't know me, but I know you. You're known around here, you know, and people from St. Eugene's really miss you. You know that, don't you?